Every week, a week doesn't go by that I'm not coaching or counseling a woman who has gone through something very traumatic in her life, and things come up that she experienced as a child, trauma, adversity, dysfunctional lifestyle, poverty, sexual violence, women that are confiding in me, the very hurtful relationships they've had with their mom or their dad, and they're still trying to navigate that because now they've been triggered and they are remembering the hurt, the abandonment, the rejection, even the denial of the parents not owning up to what their child experienced, or their inability to be present with their child, their inability to own up to their shortcomings. Um, and so, as I'm working with these women and they are hurt and they are stunted, their development has been arrested, they find themselves depressed, they find themselves in rage, they find themselves questioning their own self-worth and the decisions that they've made. They live with a lot of regrets. And what the point I'm trying to make is that this situation with Breonna not getting justice, this situation with our country basically telling us that the trauma didn't happen, that the trauma wasn't worth attention or justice. This situation where again and again we see that justice is not met, and that we are told that you're not worth it. We have the right to destroy your lives, and guess what? It didn't happen the way you said it happened. And guess what? Even though you got video, no, that didn't happen. It really plays havoc with your mind when you start questioning your worth and you start saying, wait a minute, where is God in all of this? And wait a minute, what do I do when we constantly get traumatized again and again on a personal level as well as on a cultural level? Now, I don't have the answer on the national or global scale, but on a one-on-one scale, one-to-one, as I'm working with women as they're excavating from the bombs that were dropped on them, from sexual abuse, emotional abuse, poverty, having parents that had mental issues, or parents who were in prison, or parents who were on drugs, or parents who were narcissistic, or parents who were already hurt and traumatized themselves, and hurt people. It's just amazing to me that there are still people still so traumatized by racism and by their childhood, and they're not understanding the value of getting some help. Because, every time I look and I see the news, such as Breonna not getting justice, it almost makes you want to go numb and like, damn, it just infuriates you, and you just go numb because you're like, well, what are we going to do? And there are people that just like choose to anesthetize their pain rather than stay awake, at the assault and the insult that is happening to us, Black men and Black women. I was reading one of my journals. Where is it? I don't have it in front of me now. But I was reading one of my journals, and it was in 1986, and I wrote, and that was back in the day when I wrote everything. Now all my notes are in my phone, but I would handwrite my notes and my revelations and my poetry and my insights and my notes from lectures and conferences and seminars in church. And I would just capture these nuggets. And I wrote on the page, I am not a speaker, I am an awakener. And I said, oh my God, that is really it. I'm a student. I'm still learning. I am still learning how to do this thing called life. And all I do is share information to help others to wake up to the truth, to wake up and realize that you've been numb, you've been put to sleep, you have been living with secrets and sadness and shame. And the enemy has come to be like a scavenger and just pick you apart. And so in my effort to help others with their self-esteem, because I'm called the self-esteem doctor, it's because I needed to work on my own self-esteem. It's because I've been challenging myself all these years to stay awake. Because it's so easy to say, I don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. And so as I run a thread through the things that traumatized me in my life, being taken from my father, watching but my grandmother dying right beside me in the bed in middle school. My father dying right beside him. My best girlfriend, who had the same name as me, her name was Jewel. Her going, then my mother, and watching her take her last breath, watching my father take his last breath, watching my son take his last breath, watching my other son go through different seasons of emotional pain, and never really understanding that, getting traumatized again and again and again, and you still get up, and you still get up and go to work, and you still get up and you cook and you do the dishes and you get dressed, and you still get up and you pay the bills, and you get up and somebody says, "How you doing?" And you say, "I'm fine." And you smile. "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm blessed." And you smile. Somebody says, "How you doing?" You say, "Oh, I'm good." How are you doing? Because you don't want the attention on yourself, and you don't want the tears to come, and you don't want to have to go back and go back through the rubble of the bombs that were dropped on you. And so I realized that in hearing the news about Breonna, and hearing the news again and again and again, that murderers are getting off the hook, I just challenged myself and I challenged others. Don't get numb. Don't get numb. Stay awake. Stay awake. I know it hurts. I know it enrages us. I know that as parents, we worry about our children. Every time my husband walks through the door, my son walks through the door, I'm just grateful. But we shouldn't have to live with that type of anxiety. But we do. It's a reality. Let's not act like we don't hurt. Let's not act like we're not enraged. Let's not act like we don't care, because we do. And we need to talk more, and we need to share more, and we need to be able to heal more, and we need to be able to do what we can where we are. We need to be able to start with self. Where were you traumatized? Who traumatized you? What happened to you? I'm not going to ask the question, what's wrong with you? But what happened to you? Because when I see people acting out, when I see people mean, when I see people narcissistic, when I see people vindictive, when I see people mad all the time, when I see people that just need a lot of attention, I said to myself, I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened. Because usually it goes all the way back to our childhood. If I could tell you the stories that I have heard, that just shows me the ability and capacity for humans to endure horrific pain and trauma. We do it, but then we never get healed. I I wish I could remember where I read this, but this is a great metaphor. And what the author said was, if we saw a child get hit by a car, most people would do what? Run to find out who was driving that car. We need to stop that car. We need to arrest that person. But nobody says, wait a minute, let's stop and take care of the child that was wounded. We want to chase the oppressor. We want to chase the assaulter. We want to chase the person who does the hurt. But we need to stop and look at the child that was hurt. The child that was hurt through divorce, the child that was hurt through poverty, the child that was hurt because their parent was in prison, or their parent was had mental issues, their parent was bipolar, their parent was wounded, their parent, was lied to and betrayed. That their parent doesn't know who their father is, or they wonder why they were given away in adoption. They were told, you're no good, or you're just like so-and-so. And so we have these generational patterns of dysfunction and secrets that go from generation to generation. And then we wonder why we have heart attacks and depression and addictions and serial relationships and serial divorces. And our children come out broken and our children come out hurting. We got to stop it. We got to wake up. And we got to take responsibility for the pain that we have. We got to call it what it is. We got to stop the secrets that are in families. There's so many secrets. And we are as sick as the secrets that we have in our families. There are family members not talking to one another. There are family members not talking to the one who called out the BS and said, wait a minute. I'm tired of living the lie. I'm tired of not talking about Uncle so-and-so or Aunt so-and-so who's in the back room. I'm tired of not talking about the gay family member. I'm tired of not talking about the one who had serial babies out of wedlock. I'm tired of talking about we don't know who daddy is. I'm tired of not talking about it. I'm tired of not talking about so-and-so who's in prison, or the one who's addicted. This is how the enemy is destroying our families and our legacy and our futures and our health, because we're allowing ourselves to chase the driver instead of taking care of the child that was wounded by the driver. Every day I am counseling, coaching, listening to stories where they think they're calling me about, oh, Jewel, I want to be a speaker. Oh, Jewel, can you help me with this? Oh, Jewel, I want to write a book. Oh, Jewel, I'm procrastinating. Oh, Jewel, I need help with being more focused. And then, boy, I'm telling you, when I go through the rubble and I realize, oh, that's not really the issue here. The issue is generational patterns of dysfunction and hurt and secrets and racism. We got work to do. And I know I was born for this. And I thank those of you that have trusted me with your stories, with your pain. Because, you got to talk about it. And when we don't talk about it, it consumes us. So, yeah, I'm an awakener. That's what I do, boo. That's what I was born to do.